On page B3 of the weekend edition of the Bangor Daily News, as reported by Scott Taylor of the Lewiston Sun-Journal, a local Catholic woman has lost her position as a lay minister at the Prince of Peace parish churches this week after penning a newspaper column in support of legalizing same-sex marriage. Pamela Starbird Beliveau said she met with Monsignor Mark Caron on Wednesday and was notified in writing Thursday that she has been dismissed as a lector and a Eucharistic minister. Beliveau has been a member of the parish for 20 years. In item 3, an op-ed piece by Mark Muddy. Mark Muddy is chairman of the Stand for Marriage Maine Committee and a spokesman for the Roman Catholic Diocese of Portland. Mr. Muddy writes under the title, Considering the Future of Marriage, published in the weekend edition of the Bangor Daily News on page A11. He says in part, what will it mean if yes on one prevails on Election Day? That question is at the heart of question 1 on the November 3rd ballot. The answer is simple. Yes on one prevailing on Election Day means Maine will keep the legal definition of marriage as the union of one man and one woman. If yes on one fails, Maine will have a radical redefinition of marriage as only the union of two people. All legal terms related to marriage and the family will be gender neutral. As a spokesman for the Roman Catholic Diocese of Portland, Mark Muddy asks, is it in Maine's best interest to scrap the thousands of years old institution of marriage? And last, on page C11 of the weekend edition of the Bangor Daily News, Vatican City, a beautiful little patch of land, Steve. Pope Benedict the 16th urged Iranian authorities on Thursday to let Catholics have the priests and churches they need freely practice their faith in the country. In comments to Iran's new ambassador to the Holy See, Benedict also urged Tehran to improve the situation of all Christian minorities so they are better integrated into society. Human rights reports in Western governments say that Christians in Iran, like other minorities including Jews, Baha'i, and Zoroastrians, suffer arrest as well as discrimination by being kept out of jobs.
So let me get this straight. You just read four separate clips from the Bangor Daily News.
All on the same day.
All on the same day. So in one of those, there's Mark Muddy ranting about the destruction of marriage and using his position as the spokesperson of the Catholic Diocese in Portland to have this new law overturned.
That would be correct.
To infringe on the freedoms of those persons that might want a same gender marriage.
That'd be correct, Steve.
Okay. And the Catholic Church has even fired one of their lay ministers because she supported the No on One campaign, which basically she said, you know what, I don't think that it's church business what is done in Augusta or as a matter of secular law.
Her letter did not actually say that she was opposing the Catholic Church's official position. She was stating her position, and she wrote in support of another Catholic who had come out in support of defeating question 1.
Oh, so she was supporting another person who was a No on One.
Yes.
Oh.
And she happens to also be a lay minister for the Roman Catholic Church of over 20 years.
Well, no, she used to be.
She used to be.
You're fired.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you cannot think that way. You're fired.
That'd be correct, Steve.
Okay. And so then let me get this right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this right. And the Pope calls up who in Iran?
He spoke to the new ambassador to the Vatican from Iran.
So he calls up the new ambassador to the Vatican from Iran and says, "Hey, look, my people just have to have freedom here. You got to give us religious freedom over here." What? They want that in Iran. They don't want that in the U.S.?
Or the Vatican.
Or they don't want it for other people. They only want it for Catholics?
They said that...
I want these people to live free my way.
Right.
Okay. Now, could you read again that last paragraph from the letter of conscience of Catholics in Maine? Now, these people, and there was a how many? Do you have any idea how many signatures there were on that letter?
Yeah, there was. I did a quick estimate, but simply counted up the number in one column and then multiplied by the number of columns. It was approximately 150.
Okay, so there's approximately 150 people who put their name to this letter published in the Bangor Daily News. You can look at the names there. These people are not afraid to stand for what they view to be right and what they view to be the rights of others. Now, read that last paragraph again.
Again, this is from the weekend edition of the Bangor Daily News on page A4. We believe that the Church has the right and often the responsibility to speak out on moral and social issues, to present its views, to seek to educate its members and others. But we also believe that the Church should continue to recognize that Catholics are free, indeed obligated to follow their informed consciences on such issues. In this regard, we find disturbing any suggestion that formal Church teachings obligates all Catholics to oppose the birthright of all humankind.
Okay, that's great. That's great. I particularly, excuse the rattling of the newspaper here, I particularly appreciated what they said in the second paragraph. It says, the Maine legislature has determined that the societal sanction of marriage should be available to two adult humans regardless of their sex. This reflects the sincere and justified belief that two people of the same sex can and do fall in love, feel deeply the natural human impulse toward lifelong commitment, and yearn for the societal recognition of their commitment, that is, marriage. This belief is not dishonor of marriage, it is reverence of it. So, that in contrast to what Mark Muddy says, he keeps throwing around to read exactly his rhetorical question, is the no one goal to obtain legal benefits for same-sex couples, or is it to destroy the traditional marriage? So, I don't get the destroy thing. There's no destruction in that bill at all. It actually affords people legal rights and benefits that that many of the people that oppose or that are that oppose same gender marriage enjoy themselves. It's like I have this right, but you can't. This is my yard, you ain't coming in. Because it'll destroy the yard if you're in here. I think we've seen things like that, particularly being from the South. I know I've seen things like that in the past.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that the Pope prevails and we get more freedom for Catholics and their priests in the coming months. The Pope was asking the ambassador from Iran for additional freedoms for priests and others who are Catholic in Iran.
Okay, so he would like his folks to have their freedoms in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it. Sometimes you just can't make this stuff up, can you?
That'd be right, Steve.
Do these people talk to each other? Yeah, when I found those 4 pieces in the paper, I couldn't believe it. I go, "Oh, what a gift!"